Hello again and welcome back to Ziggurat. Sorry if I sound weird, I'm trying out a different mic. So let's go ahead and start this. If anyone's wondering, I didn't end up picking up like a, let's see here. Okay, so this is oh yeah, it's this weapon. Okay, this one's a lot like the normal gun, in that it shoots out bullets. Yeah, that's so informative. But it leaves dark holes, or black holes, to show you in the thing. Yeah, creates a dark hole that damages enemies over time. But anyway, as I was saying, I got a new mic, and I'm not sure. Like, I didn't get like an actual like good mic, so it's not like I picked up a $100 or $200 mic or anything like that. I just picked up like a $10 mic. But the mic I had been using, I don't know, just sometimes wasn't picking up my voice, and I'm not sure if it's like the mic's getting old or if sometimes I talk a little like outside of its register or something. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on, so I'm trying out a different one. Okay, so let's try out this new gun. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Is that 2 invisible enemies? So if you didn't notice the level bonus thing that I took, or the traits, or whatever you want to call them, basically halved the current health I had, and I was at like 90 something HP, and it gave me that much health. So it doesn't show up, but as you can see, I'm now at 152 HP, where I was at like 103 or 4. Pretty basic stuff, nothing too complicated there. It's just, and the ability I just picked up, the mana shield. Part of damage I receive gets reflected into my munitions. Never had that before, actually. I think I just unlocked that on my like last playthrough or two, and just haven't gotten it yet. Let's see here. Gonna take Mana Shield again. My basic theory, as y'all have all heard, increasing an individual pool is not as good as it sounds. Unless you have a very specific weapon that, like, oh no, I cannot beat this game without X weapon. Then yeah, like for you really have no reason. One of the specialists would probably be a pretty good candidate for that, though. The alchemist, the staver, or the spell user, or librarian. Or yeah, I have no remembrance of what their names are. The alchemist, the acrobat, and the librarian, something like that. That's damage room. I'm gonna go make my offerings. Looking at it, I think this spell shield would be amazing if you were the Crusader. The Crusader's ability is that he picks up mana whenever he picks up experience. Well, that's some bullshit. Magic weapon. I can deal with a free weapon. Is that permanent or for just next battle? That's permanent. This could be bad. But hey, I should level up if I am able to win. This could be bad really fast. Really? I didn't level up? That is... Well, I mean, I'm almost there. Is that saying that I've beaten the Examiner 8 times, or that he's killed me 8 times? Technically, I think both of those would probably be pretty accurate statistics. Okay, so what did I pick up? I picked up the Arcane Storm. Which seems to be a lightning-based attack. Let's see. Alt Fire does 4, Mass Fire does 4 as well. Okay. It seems like Alt Fire is kind of like an aimed attack, or maybe homing. Not sure how I feel about it. I think it's definitely not a me type spell. It's kind of one of those pay attention to what's going on around you spells. Though it does seem to be pretty good at clearing out these weak enemies. And it's seemed to got an extremely low mana cost. So, we'll see. is kind of one of the funny things about games like this. Is depending on who you are, like, yeah, this weapon could be the best thing you've ever seen, but at the same time, be like the worst thing for someone else. You don't really get that a lot in a lot of other games. Well, I mean, not just this game alone, but it's kind of like the roguelike genre in its entirety. You just have a lot of choice variants, whereas most games, choices are basically a combination of what do you want to be at range, do you want to be at close, or do you want to be up close, do you want to be defensive, or do you want to have a heavy attack, and then a mixture of, well, this weapon is statistically better than that weapon. For example, even in Call of Duty, that was horrible. I need to pay attention more. But in Call of Duty, like, yeah, there's a little bit of choice when it comes to what weapons you pick. But for the most part, the weapon you end up picking is mostly based on, well, I like doing this one small thing. I like being a sniper. I like having shotguns. I like whatever it is you like doing in Call of Duty games. Then, mixed in with a little bit of, this weapon is statistically the best weapon for doing that. Okay, I'm going to go with the Talented Alchemist in this one. I do love the Magic Missile talent. It is probably one of my favorite talents just to pick up and run around with. However, the Alchemist talent, or the Talented Alchemist, gives me a regenerating mana pool. And especially saying I have the Black Hole Gun, being able to regenerate its mana is not a small thing. It's kind of an expensive spell, and it's a nice spell at that. Especially against like these slow-moving, massive Hulk guys. Just drop it on them and watch their health drain. Let's see here. You might have noticed earlier I took Brawler, I didn't really talk about it. It increases the number of enemies they are, and I get more rewards whenever I kill an enemy. And at the same time, since there are more enemies, I'm killing more enemies, so yeah. It's kind of one of those, I'm trying to think of how to say it. It's a really great talent with a high-risk, high-reward type situation. It's a bit of a gamble because, hey, if there's more enemies, you have more chances of dying, but at the same time, there being more enemies doesn't actually mean you're going to die. That and just in general, like, safe bet, whenever there's more enemies, there's better chances of getting loot and more chances of getting better loot, so mixing that in combination with better loot is straight up a pretty good thing. Okay. I'm going to go with the Turtle, mostly because I haven't tried it before, also because it reduces damage. I mean, that's what it does, so. I've never actually tried it before. It reduces the damage you do, but it also greatly reduces the damage you take. So it's kind of been one of those, like, you might take this, but not sure how high of a reduction it does, so I guess we'll find that out here. So as you can see, characters like this, pretty normal. Normally they're tough, but they're not hard. Skeletons are characters that I can normally one-shot with the wand shotgun spell, like 1 or 2, and that just took like 3 or 4 shots. So I'm significantly weaker, but at the same time I'm taking a lot less damage from stupid stuff. So looks like it's working out. Okay, nothing important. I've already picked up the Ziggurat for this level. Okay, so there's at least one more room before I fight the boss. Okay, that is something I can go with. This is the Solar Staff. It shoots out a high damage, high precision bullet. Single shot requires accuracy, skill, blah blah blah. It's really strong, and it has a high chance of stunning enemies. So to show you, uses up a bit of energy, and then the super version uses up like double that. So it's pretty much a high damage kind of sniper like staff. I've said before that the stats are kind of like your assault rifles, so it's kind of a high precision single burst type weapon, although not exactly, but comparisons. It also does have penetrating rounds, so if I wasn't weakened by the fact that I took the turtle armor, I'd basically be able to go through and just kind of smash everything. Well, at least everything here, since those banshees don't actually have a lot of health, so you can just shoot straight through them. Huh. Wow, this is a hard one, actually. I'm going to take the Staff Affinity. I have a high damage staff already, so that's not exactly or making that a little bit stronger is not a big deal one way or the other. But at the same time, when I'm going to be going through this shortly, I really don't need my health halved. That's just bad. Okay, this is green. I think this is Poison Fang, Dragon Bile. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. As you can see, I can either lob a like puke grenade, or I have this decently high damaged decently high damaged and relatively fast attacking spell. Also, as you can see, I have the out of breath, so my attack rate's been decreased naturally. So having a spell that has a active attack, an active attacking particle, such as a flamethrower type that's constantly attacking instead of something you're firing continuously, is rather beneficial. That and the fact that it just poisons people just straight up is really nice. Also, another great thing is since I have the my staff stuns and I have a stunning necklace, uh, having an ability or having a lightning spell is not as potent as it would normally sound. Although I'm really hoping that the next few rooms stop giving me these dang armors. Okay, looks like this room's full of just sky turtles. Who am I? Oh, you'd really think flying turtles would be a little easier to spot. Okay, apparently those two spells not that effective at destroying walls. Good to know. Okay. Dang it. Ooh, this is hard. We're already on level 3 of 5. Mirror of Fate, I would always take at level, like if I can get it on the first level. But I'm going to take Ignore Wounds. Um, it's kind of weird because Mirror of Fate just kind of shows you where the key, the boss. I think Altars, I don't even think it actually shows you where secrets are. But it's one of those really nice things. It just kind of gives you a little bit of map awareness. And since there aren't a lot of mapping abilities, it's kind of nice to have one. Let's see here. Now this one's kind of an interesting one because I normally say don't go after the pool increaser, but since I do have a flamethrower, a sniper rifle, and a black hole gun, yeah, there's no way I'm going to just be giving up my weapons. I mean, seriously, if you play any game where black hole gun is an option and you have it, and you give up black hole gun for any reason, I don't care if the gun's better. I don't care if the gun's stronger or has more ammo or what. If you give up a black hole gun for any reason, you're lame. Okay, this is nice. My next room will have infinite mana and double experience, and I have a lower usage on my alchemy. My alchemy is also that one talent of mine that continuously grows. I'm hoping for the boss room, because infinite mana plus double experience on a boss room is amazing. Come on. Well, that sucks. So, I'm going to go to the right because it's less, or the boss room's more likely on the left. But since both of these rooms are going to be combat rooms, it's not really going to matter. But I guess if I had to choose, infinite poison flamethrower in an obelisk room's not a bad one at all. Although infinite super snipe might be slow, but damn, does it pack a punch. Who's still alive? If there's like a carrot stuck on a... Screw that carrot. Let's see here. I'm already down to about 50% of my health, so Black Orb, as great as it would be, not exactly a good thing for me right now. Oh, it's 50% of current. Wait, did I just take Black Orb after saying this would be a really bad idea? Wow, I'm an idiot. Oh, it's a good thing nobody's watching this. Oh, wait, yeah. Please just be a bunch of carrots. I am completely fine with this room just being a bunch of carrots. Yep, that was good. Bit of free mana. Oh, I had full mana, so. Bit of free health and some cash. And some experience, too. Okay, this is going to be the Golem boss. here. No staff mana? That is really bad for me. Really? How did I not level up? How did I not level up? I think Adam is like the worst boss as far as experience goes. Like, I could be completely wrong on that aspect, but just in my experience, I don't think I've ever leveled up from Adam. Like, I always get, like, really close, but it's like, I think he's the only boss I've beaten and not leveled up, like, almost every time. Ooh, this is a hard one. I'm gonna change out staffs. The Eagle staff is amazing. I'm not sure if I've actually shown it off. The Eagle staff, um, yeah, it has tracking runes. Its attacks go after people. Its basic attack is a single rapid fire shot, and its alternate fire is a triple shot. And just plain and simple, it's a pretty good staff. Obviously, we're taking more wounds because not taking damage is always a good idea. Another really great thing about this staff is due to its primary abilities, quick speed, it's perfect for the Examiner. The Examiner is kind of one of those, you don't want to be slow with her. I mean, you can be slow, you just don't want to. She has a lot of damage potential really fast, especially if you let her get up a small army. And since it's a homing weapon, you don't exactly have to be the most accurate Joe in the closet. Holy hell, the carrots. Now, of course, with that one, I took haste. Again, not a big fan of losing half my maximum HP. for a benefit that is pretty much worthless during boss fights. Like, it can be good at times, but during boss fights, it's virtually worthless, so. It's kind of like the upgrades that, like, I usually choose not to take upgrades that are single use, because plain and simple, yeah, every once in a while I might need some extra health, but attacking faster, that's always going to be useful. Well, maybe not always, but you get the gist. I'd rather have a passive benefit that, seriously? I'd rather have a passive benefit that isn't that strong than a really strong active benefit, simply because the passive benefit will last forever, and the passive or the active benefit is once and done. I mean, it might even be a bit of a different. Like, there's one that saves you from death, which I'm actually finding is not as good as it sounds, because it doesn't like kill you. It just kind of allows you to sidestep. It basically is a 100% chance to ignore pain on one last hit, which not as good as I originally thought, because I was thinking kind of be like oh, here's a little bit of health, blah blah blah. But it's still kind of one of those. Well, yeah, this is a guaranteed. It will activate when you need it. And if there were more like those, like, oh yeah, this is a talent, blah, but yeah, take this and it will refill your mana. One of your mana pools will instantly go to full as soon as you deplete it, or get it so low. Oh, this is a hard one. Or get it so low that you can no longer use the attack. Maybe that'd be great. Be like, yeah, refills mana once. Be something you'd save before a boss fight. But since all they do have are the instant, oh yeah, here's a little bit extra, or here's a refill, it's not really that good in my personal opinion. It's kind of like when leveling up in well, just about any game with a leveling system. And like, I try not to take any of the talents that are like, oh yeah, get extra experience here. Be like, yeah, I'd rather just kill an extra monster and get extra experience, because, well, once you hit max level, oh, all these extra experience when you do this are worthless. At the same time, a lot of games now have been adding like systems for you to change your talents that you've selected, so that's kind of becoming a little bit less and less of an issue. Or like in Diablo 3, for example, you have the Paragon system where, oh yeah, you hit max level, now just keep going. So having things that give you experience isn't so bad there, but in like Borderlands or something, where you can reasonably hit max level before you've done any majorly significant thing in the game. Well, not reasonably, but you could definitely do it if you're just being stupid or driving around in circles because it's 4 o'clock in the morning and you don't actually want to read instruction text. But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of a personal thing. I know lots of people who feel the other way around about that, but they prefer just getting there to max level faster, even if it, in the end, it makes them slightly weaker. Especially saying a lot of those passives are, like, a lot of the passives that you would take, other than the experience ones, are like, oh, here's a X% health boost, or here's a chance to stun up on farting on the enemy's face as one of their teammates drops dead in front of you. Like, some of them are so stupid that it's like, yeah, if you don't want to take this, it's not really going to affect your gameplay. However, occasionally, when you stun an enemy, that stunning that enemy saves your butt, you're going to be thankful. What I would do for a talent in staffingness. That is not the word. But for the regenerate staff mana talent, I would give so much for that right now. I said I would give so much for regenerating staff mana. Not ignoring wounds or magic mirror. This game never listens to me when I'm trying to tell it what to give me. Where the hell are all these enemies hiding? Oh, on a bridge. Let's see. Really? I hate obelisk rooms. Like, I mean, I don't really, but man, do they get old fast sometimes. Especially when you have more than one of them on the same floor. Because it's like kind of nice to be like, yeah, this one's basically or it's like changing up from a normal death match to a King of the Hill or a Capture the Flag game every once in a while. Yeah, it's like slightly different objectives. Basically the still same thing, but slightly different objectives. It's nice. But because of the way Obelisk works, it basically turns into a, here's your target, oh, then deathmatch. One down. Oh wait, there's somebody still alive? Wasn't exactly what I meant to do, but this will work. Holy heck, that was bad. Okay, so we have at least one room we haven't been to yet, so let's go ahead and rush to that. Holy heck, that was dumb of me. What's the point of having two doors that lead to the same room? That's just awkward. Let's see. Pretty much everything's full, so I don't think meditation would actually be any good there. And that's exactly what I was talking about, like how actives are so useless. Because, like, even if I did need, like, 25% of health, yeah, I could have used 25 health or 25% of a mana pool. Like, why would I take that over physically being able to run faster for the rest of the game? It's like, I can just break barrels and I might get a health potion or a mana crystal out of it. Like, see, here's a health potion if I needed a little bit of health. I had a mana crystal back there. Being able to physically run faster has so many benefits. Running away from bad guys bullets. Getting through the dungeon faster because, let's be honest, in a roguelike, backtracking is usually rather necessary, but it's so boring. And time consuming. I mean, look, that floor right there just took us 20 minutes. And maybe only 8 of it was fighting. A lot of it was just running through the dungeon. Let's see here. Flame mortar. Okay, yeah, we're not dealing with that. The flame mortar's kind of nice that you drop fire pellets onto the ground. And yeah, it's like you drop fire pellets. If you use the alt fire, I think you freeze enemies. Like you either freeze them or stun them. And this fight right here is pretty straightforward. It's actually a little funny because you're like, yeah, you should take out the turtles first because the turtles hit harder and have a lot more health than the stupid little cockatrices. But cockatrices are like such an important threat because they leave those acid pools, which just make it hard. And for the most part, the sky turtles, I really need to learn these people's names. The sky turtles are so easy to get through. Like, hey, look, I just drop some poison on them. Maybe put a few bullets in them from the sidelines. And just dodge lightning. Not even hard. But the cockatrices are so... Like, the cockatrices make things so hard because you can't really dodge through pools of acid. Well, you can, but I'm not advising it. I'm staking the medical license I do not have on that. My complete, honest medical opinion is walking through fire, lava, acid, or anything that just kind of hurts. Usually not a good idea. Nope. Okay, that's the boss room. Unlike the other bosses, once you defeat her, you're done. So there's actually supposedly like a couple of different things that will happen depending on if you defeat all the rooms or not. And I think like every time I've played, I've beaten every single room in the game. Like I might have missed a secret room or two, but like I go through every normal room just stacking up on experience. So I've never actually seen any of those. Although I guess that's something I'm gonna have to do one of these days. Just kind of rush through it on easy or something. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna straight rush the boss. But sometimes you end up spending so long looking for things. It's just really hard just to rush. Is that all of them? Holy shit, Megu. Okay, one down. Only 1,003 more to go. What's really sad is that these guys aren't even actually that tough. It's like they're really not even that hard. They just have so much health. Like, it'd be nice if, like, in the bestiary or something, they'd add actual, like, numbers. Or at least, like, a number range. Be like, yeah, it could have health anywhere from here to here. But then maybe they could add something like damage numbers. Like, yeah, this weapon does X amount of damage, or costs X amount of mana. Which would actually be really useful, especially since there are so many talents that are basically increase mana usage, decrease mana usage, increase damage, decrease damage. Like, okay, so what's the baseline number, and what is it now? Maybe, like, I mean, maybe even an attack speed number would probably be nice, just kind of for helping you decide a little bit, because do you want a high damage attack that attacks once every 10 seconds? Or do you want a low damage thing that you could just spam? I mean, it kind of comes out to, do you want to hit somebody for 500 damage once a second, or do you want to hit somebody for 50 damage 10 times a second? And I know that, like, those numbers kind of even out. But if you increase that, and like, yeah, if you increase the damage by 10% flat, then you increase that's still just a flat 10%. But if there's a chance to stun, like, yeah, there's a 10% chance this attack will stun. Well, getting off 10 extra attacks every time you, like, every second, gives you more chances of stunning. If there's a chance that this weapon could cause, like, if this weapon causes death, that the creature will explode or something. Or if there's a chance that it might do extra damage depending on percentage of the creature's health, you might want a slower, stronger attack so that you're able to hit singular strong attacks, plain and simple. Also, it kind of goes into some of the passives. If you have a passive, why am I attacking these guys? I need to finish that last Obulus. If you have a passive that says something to the extent of once every blank amount of seconds, one of your attacks will do something cool. Like, oh yeah, once every 5 seconds, your attack will summon a ghost warrior that will fight for you for an eighth of a second. Or once every time you attack, you gain back like a percentage of the amount of health that you're dealing. Well, do you want to hit hard and gain a lot of health all at once, or do you want to hit fast so that you have a current flow of health just coming to you constantly? And I mean, some people, I personally prefer attacking fast. I'd rather hit somebody for a small amount a bunch of times than hit somebody for a big amount once. Because I have the theory that if I can get in and hit you a dozen times before you can hit me once, I can get in, hit you once or twice, and get the fuck out of there before you get that even chance. Or get that chance even, whatever. And it's just, it'd be nice if there's a little more clarity. Like, I mean, I understand, yeah, unlock the weapon, use it, and then you get this, or something like that, or, like with the bestiary, you saw, like, other than bosses, you had to beat monsters multiple times, which took multiple playthroughs. I think the ice golems were probably one of the big ones because it was like something like 100 ice golems or something like that to get it. And you only really see the ice golems in like because they're big monsters, so they take up a lot of the minion bar, so you don't see a lot of them very often. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of like complaining for complaining's sake. This game's like pretty fun. I've been playing it a lot. So it's kind of like one of those things like, well, I have all these small little things that, hell, I haven't looked at the coding. Maybe they're not actually possible to calculate so easily. Like maybe the damage is based on a round number instead of being based on like single digits. So yeah, this attack can do a range damage like anywhere between 10 and 20. And then it doesn't like that's not even going into, well, X creatures have X amount of armor or damage mitigation of some sort. So it could be something that's just not easily displayed by a linear number scale. But it'd be nice if they'd come out and like say whether or not that was a thing, or if I'm just an idiot who likes doing math. I guess liking doing math is kind of like the opposite of an idiot, right? That'd be like a major nerd thing. Ew. One bad thing about the gear I have, as nice as it is really horrible for these heavy armored Juggernaut style fights. It's like I probably should have kept my sniper blast. It would have helped me a lot when it came to at least the shield bearers. Come on, let me through. I'm going to increase my spell pool, because my alchemy pool regenerates, so I don't need to worry about it quite as much. Although, while I am on the subject of like comparative stats on the weapons and stuff, that is one thing I do like, that many of the like alt fires are kind of like shotgun style. Like some of them aren't and are more of effective. For example, the flame mortar that we saw a little earlier that drops pillars of fire, and if you hit them with the alt version, it like freezes them. Like there are some that it's basically a different attack, but the mass majority of them are the same attack. Just for example, the wand, it's either rapid fire or shotgun fire at a slower pace. Kind of the same with the eagle. It's either rapid fire or group fire, which I actually think that because of the cooldown on the group fire, that you actually end up like getting more damage per second out of the rapid fire. Although I think at the same time you're also losing like more mana because you're shooting out more bullets. It's costing you more ammunition to cast it. Made it through there. Let's see, what's this one? It's not bad, but I don't want it. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Frozen Soul is a pretty nice ability. It's a pretty strong shotgun with a penetration bolt. And its ult fire has like a 100% chance of freezing non-bosses or something like that. Whirlwind, don't much care for that spell. It's weird. Like, it seems like it could be so great, but the fact that it goes off in whatever direction you cast it, like if it would stand there, it'd be a little better, but since it doesn't, yeah, like if it would kind of go a little bit and then just kind of stand there, I could drop it and just let it massacre, but since it goes through, it has a great damage potential, but it's really hard to hit the mark when the target's moving and so is the bullet. Let's see here. I would have loved Druid earlier in the game. I think I'm going to go with Channeling. Mostly because I have no use for Druid. Yeah. Actually, like, yeah. Kind of take a little bit of a run looking for broken walls and working my way up to the angel statues. Okay. Well, that's pretty nice. Yeah, those are such great things. Well, hell, since I lost my amulet, I might as well go take. Actually, that could be a really good amulet for this next fight. Hope it's still there. Ooh, I really hope it's still there. Let's kind of double check. Come on, get off that. It's a little tricky trying to remember where we're trying to look at all the cracked places that could be. Ah, there it is. Really? That's what, 8 staff affinity? 3. Why was I thinking 8? Well, let's go try to do this. So I think my basic plan for this is going to just be flame throws. I'm going to use the poison, like, I'm going to use the Dragon Bile just to continue flamethrowing, and try to use my amulet to get back some mana after I'm done. So I'm going to try to keep the Examiner poisoned up and try to go through a couple of pools. Okay, one's down. Oh, I was kind of expecting that to give me the mana drops, but I don't know, maybe it did, and I just didn't have any blue manas available. Well, this strategy was pretty swimmingly. Would have been nice if I could have gotten more blue mana crystals, but all in all, it was pretty good. The turtle armor was actually pretty effective against her, especially since I had dot type attacks like the poison and the black hole. But I've already seen this, so there's no real reason to go through it again. Let's just check out my final stats. That only took like an hour and 20 minutes. That's kind of cool. Basically, whenever I pick something up like dodge damage or pretty much anything that you can get that will stack, this will increase them by a level, and that's to include the unit special ones. Increase spell attack rate. Gain health from knowledge gems. This is what makes the vampire special. Specialist. Eee. It'd be nice if they could pick, like, it'd make, like, specialize and then tell you which one you're going to specialize in. It's a little bit awkward for that one to be random, because you could be building, I'm a staff man, and then, oh, spells are tripled. But that could still be really useful. Awesome. Okay, and that was my first normal win, actually? Really? Awesome. Which means I now have access to hard mode, so wish me luck on the next video. Anyway, I hope you had fun. I hope this was enjoyable, and have a nice day.